Welcome to Mock Interview Pro, where today we're diving into the world of supply chain management. If you're gearing up for an interview as a supply chain manager, you're in the right place. We'll walk you through some key questions you might face, starting with how you can lead a team to enhance supply chain efficiency. Let's jump in. Could you share an experience where you led a team to boost supply chain efficiency? What were the results? This question is designed to see how you take initiative and lead others to overcome challenges and drive improvements. Here are a few pointers to shape your response effectively. Focus on a particular project or situation where you were in charge. Detail how you evaluated the inefficiencies in the supply chain. Explain the strategies you employed to enhance efficiency. Share the outcomes, preferably with quantifiable results. Reflect on any feedback you receive from your team or stakeholders. Let's look at an example of how you might answer this question.
In a previous role, I led a team to reduce order fulfillment time. I went through our processes and pinpointed bottlenecks in our warehouse operations. By introducing a new inventory management system, we boosted our order picking speeds by 30%. This change led to a noticeable increase in customer satisfaction scores.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Supply Chain Manager. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you tell me about a time you had a conflict with a supplier and how you handled it? This question evaluates your problem-solving skills, particularly in managing supplier relationships. Here's how to tackle this question. Choose a specific conflict that highlights your problem-solving abilities. Describe the situation clearly and objectively. Walk through the steps you took to address the issue. Emphasize communication skills you used to resolve the conflict. End with the positive outcome and the lessons you learned. Here's an example of how you could structure your answer.
In my previous role, a key supplier delay threatened our production schedule. I organized a call to understand the root cause and proposed a new delivery schedule with incentives for meeting deadlines. We adjusted successfully, which strengthened our relationship with the supplier.
Could you provide an example of a time you led a cross-functional team to achieve a supply chain goal? Interviewers want to see your leadership skills and your ability to work across different departments. Let's go over some tips for answering this question. Identify a project with clear objectives. Describe your leadership role and approach. Highlight your collaboration with various departments. Discuss the outcome and its benefits to the supply chain. Reflect on any challenges and how you overcame them. Here's an example to illustrate how you might respond.
At my previous company, I led a project to improve order fulfillment by working closely with sales, logistics, and IT teams. We implemented new software that cut order processing time by 30%, which considerably boosted customer satisfaction.
Imagine we have a sudden shortage of key components due to a supplier issue. How would you handle this situation? This situational question tests your problem-solving and crisis management abilities. Here's how you can approach this scenario. Assess the impact of the shortage on production and delivery schedules. Communicate promptly with key stakeholders about the issue. Consider alternative suppliers or components that could substitute. Work with your team on a recovery plan to minimize delays. Monitor the situation closely and adapt as new information becomes available. Let's look at how you might answer this question.
First, I'd assess the shortage's impact on our production schedules and inform stakeholders to set expectations. Then, I'd explore alternative suppliers or substitute components to keep operations running smoothly.
You have multiple suppliers, and one consistently delivers late but at a lower cost. How do you decide whether to stay with this supplier? This question examines your decision-making skills, especially in balancing costs with reliability. Here's how to structure your response. Evaluate the impact of late deliveries on your operations. Calculate the total cost of working with the late supplier compared to others. Assess the reliability and communication of the supplier. Consider the alternatives and their potential costs or advantages. Discuss with stakeholders to gather their perspectives. Here's an example of how you might address this decision.
I'd assess the effect of late deliveries on our production schedule. If disruptions are significant, the cost savings may not justify the delays. Comparing the total cost, including delays, with other options would guide whether to stay with the supplier or switch.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.